away from 9 o'clock, and it's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Streaming at WCCSradio.com. Just click on the Listen Live link, brought to you by SeaWorld Satellite and by Indiana Regional Medical Center and Wave Rider Sweet Shop. He is Mark Hilliard. He's the president of the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce, joining us here this morning, and in the wake of your wife's appearance here with Chris Adams and Jane Lockhart on behalf of the United Way. That's a lot to measure up to. That campaign was really, really big, and a big part of that is the Indiana County business community coming together. I know that must make you very proud.
Well, it is. I can't compete with that interview, so I'm not even going to try. I'm first of all very proud of her and Chris. I think they did an amazing job. I know they were a little unsure of how this year was going to go, just with some of the uncertainty with the economy, across the nation and everything else. But for them to put in that time and effort and make their internal goal and achieve the number that they did is pretty incredible. And it's not just the business community though that supports them; it's everybody. And truly, I think she said a number of times, and Chris, how giving and generous Indiana County is, and it's times like this you look around and you recognize how generous they truly are. It's one thing to say it, but you see it in action. And we saw it with all the events that we attended and helped out with, and she saw it, personally with a lot of the things that she was doing. So the business community has always been very supportive, but the community at large, I think, is amazing, and that just goes to show when you see numbers like that show up with the United Way campaign.
Yeah. Our conversation with Mark Hilliard, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So we're heading into a spring season that I know is going to be busy from a number of different aspects. And Chamber of Commerce, this becomes a really busy time of the year for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, we have a lot of events coming up, and right now we're in the planning process of a lot of those. Actually, the Indiana County Women's Summit, it's just March 2nd, so about a week and a half away, and we're encouraging people this week to sign up, get their last-minute registrations in. That's at the KCAC on March the 2nd. Lunch is served at noon, and the program will get underway about 12:45. But if I could talk a little bit about that, we have some incredible presenters. So we do have presenters talking about leadership and influence, kind of social media networking and the do's and don'ts, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and also we have a Dress for Success fashion show to wrap it up. As part of the whole event as well, we're offering complimentary headshots. So if you go there, you'll be able to get a headshot taken professionally and be able to have a couple of different poses to look at. But that's something we're excited about too. Just for attending, you get that. And then we'll have a little cocktail hour afterwards. So it's going to be a great event. I'm very excited about the presentations. And truthfully, though, we call it the Indiana County Women's Summit. If you're a guy, we've had plenty of guys show up and attend that in the past. A lot of the topics, it's really beneficial for anybody. I think there's a lot of good information there for anyone, regardless of gender. So if you want to attend, we'd encourage you to attend. Get your sign-ups in now, registered today. It's March the 2nd, so it is coming up quickly. And other than that, we're looking ahead. We've got a soft skills challenge coming up with our high school seniors in March. We've got the Excellence in Education Banquet in May, and we've just announced some save the dates for our golf and Hall of Fame. So there's a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, there really is. Let's go to the soft skills challenge that you were just mentioning. It's been an emphasis of the Chamber of Commerce and of you for a couple of years now, and I think from school administrators that I've talked to that you're really seeing the fruits of that.
Well, we're hoping we are. I think that some of these things you don't see the fruits for years after they graduate high school, and that's okay. We're hoping that it starts to sink in a little quicker than it normally would have, and if the seeds were planted. But we were trying to find ways, and we had met with Indiana Area School District in particular, with Aaron Intermediate Unit here in town, and we were looking for ways to try to apply some of those skills that are being taught. And that's where this idea came up, that why don't we try to create an opportunity for the seniors to come to a designated area, in this case downtown Indiana, and be able to visit different locations and try to apply some of those soft skills. So We're going to be having them come to downtown Indiana. Each school district will have a different day in March, and they'll be bused into downtown Indiana to the Indiana Theater. We'll do a little welcome, and then they're going to be split up into small groups, and those small groups will be going around to different businesses and establishments and doing different kinds of soft skills related activities at each one of those. So they're coming to Renda and the Indiana Gazette and doing a communication exercise. They're going to go to the Jimmy Stewart Museum and look at one of the exhibits and provide some consultation on ways they could make it more interactive for youth. They're going to be visiting the courthouse and meeting with some of the offices over there, the banks, and doing a financial plan. So they're doing different things at various locations throughout downtown Indiana that they'll be able to apply those soft skills. And we're encouraging group work and ways to get every kid involved with that. So it's going to be kind of exciting. I'm looking forward to the process because it seems like it'd be something fun that if I were a senior, I'd want to do it. But I think it's also going to really apply some of those life skills that we've been talking about for a while as well.
It's interesting the way that you put that because, it's not the kind of competition I've heard of before. Mm-hmm. Is it something that was self-designed by you or a committee of folks, or was there a model?
I don't think there was a model to it. The idea came, I think, in just a meeting with Indiana School District with Aaron, and I had met with Stacy over at the Aaron Intermediate Unit a couple of times, and we were trying to develop it. We've met with the guidance counselors, so there wasn't a model that we used. We just tried to. We looked at different soft skills activities that may have been done elsewhere, but truly it was just something we kind of put together on our own. And there will be some scoring, as you mentioned, a contest. We are trying to offer some prizes for the winning group. So there will be a little scoring sheet that the kids will be taking around with them. However, mostly it's just going to be an activity, a chance for them to kind of get out and selfishly they get to visit businesses and places that maybe they never would have had a chance to visit in the past. So
yeah, that's interesting too.
So we're hoping that it helps local businesses out, but it also will help the students to kind of learn some of these skills that they're going to need at some point in their lives.
Yeah. All right. One of the other things you mentioned, Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
That is coming up, and probably a lot quicker than a lot of us realize.
Yes, it's on June the 22nd. I believe we have the Thursday, June 22nd is the date that we had secured. We had emailed all of our inductees and contacted them and their families and let them know. I'm going to try to remember this off the top of my head, but we have Roseanne Lubold from the Roseanne's Everyday Gourmet that will be inducted, the Brody family who own the Brody's Department Store up here in downtown Indiana. Those were our deceased inductees, and then we had Todd Bryce from S&T Bank, Bob Marcus from Marcus & Mack, and Mike Donnelly from the Indiana Gazette as our living inductees, and our chairman selection was former commissioner and former principal and former general Rod Ruddick. So it's exciting. I think it's an amazing group, and we're excited about that on June 22nd, and we're in the planning stages of it now. So we would encourage people to mark that date on their calendars and keep an eye out for some registration and ticket information soon. It's going to be at the Indiana Country Club again.
So those are some things that are coming up, event-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you continue to work for the business community here in Indiana County, looking at, bringing this business in or that business in, looking at opportunities in industry and manufacturing as opposed, or not as opposed to, but along with retail. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of opportunity, and it just seems like things are starting to pick up again. I think we were on the way to a pretty solid 2020 until it got shot down, and it's taken a while to recover from that. But I think we're doing it.
Yeah, I had said that for a while, that I had went into 2020 along with a lot of other people in the community, feeling that was going to be a big year. And boy, were we! It
was big.
It was big, but not in the manner that we were expecting. And it has taken a while to make up the ground that we felt like we had at that point. Now, I think in some cases, we've been able to do some amazing things. I think what the commissioners had done, being proactive about the broadband, has really helped us in that regard, and I think that has helped set the tone for where we are right now. And granted, a long way to go, but Indiana County is much better off than we were at this point in time in 2020. But yeah, you're starting to see, number one, more rumors that are out there. Number two, more announcements, and certainly more shovels in the ground right now, where you're starting to see actually not just an announcement, but things happening. And it's exciting, and I think we're going to see more businesses coming in. Of course, these people focus on the retail and the restaurant end of things, but I think there are going to be some more announcements coming that are good job creators, and some businesses, whether it's in agriculture or manufacturing, that are going to hope to at least be able to make some announcements this year on some things that can be coming into Indiana County. But I think it's going to be a very, very good year from an economic standpoint for this area.
It's interesting the way you phrase that as well, because, we think of retail as being a job generator, and it is. But retail is also an amenities type of thing, where industry, manufacturing, looks at what retail is available in an area, and that factors into them deciding, okay, this is a good area for us. We look at infrastructure, we look at amenities, we look at everything to make it a whole package, and that should help.
Well, it's kind of a chicken and the egg scenario, where I think, manufacturers may look at some of those things to determine where they want to move, and some retail locations look at what large industries are here to determine whether they want to move. So sure. It's a little bit difficult to figure out which one's driving which. But I think overall, if we can have businesses that are creating jobs, I think that's important here, because if we have the people here, we have the people working here, that's putting more money into our local economy. It's also creating more of a larger population, which we're hoping to be able to grow by having more opportunity here. So those are the types of things that if we have more money going into the local economy and we have more people here, then I think the other businesses, whether it's retail, whether it's amenities, whether it's manufacturing or agriculture, they'll be coming. So that's what we look towards, and it's nice to have them all. So sure. We love those announcements. We love the retail businesses, but we want the big industries here as well, and hopefully we can get them all. We'll wait and see. I mean, it's one thing at a time, but we're taking baby steps here, and I think we're making progress.
He's Mark Hilliard, Chamber of Commerce. Social events, business after hours, those sorts of things coming up?
Yeah, we have some things in the works. We are right now, we don't have any business after hours for the remainder of February, but we are focused on looking ahead. If you want to schedule one, we're certainly open to that. But our next big event's the Women's Summit, so that's kind of been our focus. And we had a rumor that we were going to do an after hours at some point over at the new roller rink, in the Go Bonkers roller rink at the Indiana Mall, with an 80s theme. So just throw that out there as a tease. But
there you go.
We're kind of excited about that.
Xanadu with Mark Hilliard. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Fox News is up next.
The Robinson Lytle Shoemaker Funeral Home